Amber.
How many do we need for, do we need a certain number?
4,
Yeah, we just need 4.
Only 4?
and we have 5.
Oh, okay.
But she still has 2 minutes.
No, I understand, I just didn't know what the number was. They don't give you a day off, Chip? You're Saturday?
I was Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, he had Sunday off, I don't know why.
Saturday's the day off, that's the fun part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like, you live for those days.
Right.
That's why you sit in your office all week.
I thought we weren't changing the name of this board.
No, we are.
Tomorrow night it's on the agenda, but I can't talk about it now because it's on the agenda.
Well, I just got a notification that there's a meeting.
A meeting?
Yeah. With the new Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
When? Today?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
just a notification of today's meeting.
Oh, they already changed the. I don't know, do I have to come tomorrow? I see that, it says.
Working ahead.
No, it's just, it's just an item to change it officially.
No, I mean, when we got he got a notice and it already is changed.
I don't know what notice you got.
I saw her
YouTube.
Saturday, and she
It's a YouTube
said she knew of it.
notification thing. It's now.
Go help her make masks for Mardi Gras.
I got you. The title card, probably.
It is 6 o'clock.
Should I
But
just bring that over?
Yeah, you can take it over with your chair, because your names are lined up with your chairs. Oh, you heard the door? Hold on.
you heard the door.
I can talk it back to her though, right?
Hey.
No, but it's the time. Hey. Hi.
Sorry, had to wait for Hobby to get home, so you could take care of the kids.
I'll wait for her to come up.
Always a good choice, right?
Who doesn't like? Hurry up.
Good afternoon.
Going.
How are you guys? Missed you guys last time.
All right, 6 o'clock, calling this meeting to order. First order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Okay, now we have open forum. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak at this time? No one. We will move on. Move to item 1. Approved minutes dated November 13th, 2023. Everyone take a few minutes to make sure it looks all right. Any suggestions? So if it looks good, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay, need a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's approved. Agenda item number 2, elections for chair and vice chair. So is there anyone that would like to go for chair tonight?
I would like to do.
Okay, so Joe would like to, and I would like to. Basically, I think it's a good opportunity for me, so that's why I'd like to go. Might not have this opportunity again for a while. I go to a lot of events in the community, nearly at every one, and at the park nearly every day, with myself, my kids, friends, so I'm there. So just would like to have this opportunity. Anything you'd like to say, sir?
Yeah, I'm super excited to try to be chair of the board. Same as Amber, I'm out there. I got kids that are involved, and just would like to take a shot at it.
Okay. Would you just vote now, or
Madam Chair, we have the ballots for chair and vice chair.
we're doing chair first, right? Okay.
And then after the selection is made, there will be a motion to approve.
And what do we do with this? Is this do we speak or do we hand it in?
I think Miss Jenny's supposed to.
This is for chair, right? Chair,
No.
correct? This is chair. Thank you.
going for chair.
Not here.
Let me help you along. These ballots that you're filling out is just for the chair position right now?
Yes.
Make sure that when you fill out your ballot, you will put your signature on the ballot, and then normally you just pass them down, and then the deputy clerk would go ahead and tally them. So, but if we're collecting them, that's fine too. We just need them all collected. So this is just right now the chair
Or do you prefer
position.
Mike?
Thank you. Okay, Madam Vice Chair, you got 5. The board selected you as the chair.
Okay. Congratulations.
Won't be.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The board
wait.
has selected Amber Stevens
Yeah,
as
that's
the
what I
Oh.
thought.
chair.
That's what I was like, I'm not vice chair.
Okay.
We have to have
Now
a
the vice chair.
motion.
And now the vice chair?
Yeah, now it's the vice chair. You don't need a motion. The motion was made by way of that ballot, and you voted already. You don't necessarily need a motion to do that. You've already voted. So now it would just be the vice chair.
So pass the paper down this way.
Yeah, if you can just pass it down to the deputy
Say,
clerk.
would anyone like to run or
There
make
should
this?
be another,
Yes, you're going to have to nominate one of the, someone needs to be, whether it's
Make a
Mr.
motion to
Santana.
nominate Joe.
Are there any other nominations other than Joe?
Anyone like to go?
No.
Okay.
Okay, there being no other nominations, then there's no vote necessary. Joe, you have been appointed then as the vice chair of this particular advisory board.
Excellent.
Okay? So all right?
You don't need a second.
hey, let's go, let's go.
All right. Moving on to agenda item number 3, Mr. Tom Trask.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about a few things that have come up over the last 6 months or 8 months that I've noticed. And the city manager and I have discussed it, and we've also had an opportunity to speak to the former chair about some of the issues that we've seen relative to how these meetings were progressing and what was happening at some of these meetings. And we kind of just want to bring it back and get you back in your lane, because I think that you guys have drifted just a little bit based upon what I've seen on your minutes that have been, or not your minutes, your meetings that have been produced on YouTube. I've watched, for example, the YouTube videos. So I thought what I would do is talk to you a little bit about 2 things. The resolution, we call the enabling resolution that you've got in front of you that have been passed out by Chip, and also the bylaws. For me, as the city attorney, the enabling resolution is the key to everything that you do. The bylaws are something that you have adopted. You're one of the few boards that have adopted bylaws. They're not necessary or required by the law, but you've done that to basically organize your meetings and give you some direction, because sometimes the membership of the board changes, and so you want to make sure that everybody is following on the same sheet of music as the board members change. So I'm not going to really focus too much on the bylaws, but I do want to focus on the resolution itself. And by the way, your bylaws state almost word for word what the enabling resolution says as to the duties of what this particular board has and what you can do and what you can't do. So I kind of want to go over those. I've kind of broke it down into 4 different topics. I've taken the resolution language and broken it down. And these are the 4 things that I think that you guys should be focusing on as board members of this particular board. So the first thing Advise City Council and the city manager as to interpretation of the community needs and desires as to types of leisure programs, parks, recreation facilities. So in simple words that, when I broke it down, you are here to interpret community needs and desires, okay, related to these programs, parks, recreation facilities. The second thing that you're enabled to do in the enabling resolution is to prepare and amend a general plan for meeting present and future leisure requirements of the city. What is that? If you have a master plan, this is what that would be the key to it. Either adopt it, amend it, revise it, but that's the second thing. Deal with the general plan. The third thing is to act as a conduit of public opinion from the citizens to the city manager and the city council. Now, I know that there has been some discussion in the past about how you actually do that. How do you gather that public opinion, whether it's by word of mouth, attending events, or whether it's by survey? The resolution doesn't really tell us. So I think it could be any of those. And more than likely, surveys that are prepared either the city prepares, that you give direction on, those things would probably be the best way to determine what public opinion is, instead of just getting one or two people or half a dozen people talking to you at a city event. The fourth thing is perform other duties requested by the city manager or city council. I liken these to special projects. They want to get your input on a special project that they're thinking about. And I'm not sure that that happens a whole lot, but if it does, that's the fourth thing that you have the ability to do. So out of those four things, those are the only things that this board should be dealing with. It shouldn't be dealing with anything outside those four topics or lanes of activity. And I know that for a fact that you receive certain things from city staff, the monthly reports, project updates, event updates, and the like. And that's all good information, but it's not required by city staff to do that. So they're providing you with information just so that you understand what that department is doing. But there is no legal requirement to do it under the law, and there's no legal requirement to do it under the resolution. And when watching the meetings and so forth, when Chip and members of his staff provide you with these reports, it's almost like they're being interrogated as to certain things that are happening that they're doing or they're not doing. That's not the purpose of those reports. It's just to give you basic information so that you can understand what is happening citywide from month to month. So when these reports are given to you, although it's appropriate to ask questions and so forth, it's really not appropriate to give city staff direction on those items or specifically make demands on city staff when they discuss these things with you. That's not in your role. But I've seen in the videos that is what has been happening. So we just trying to bring it back again. You're an advisory board and you're not a directive board. So when we sat down with Suda to try to talk about some of these things that were happening, she thought it would be a best idea if I come here and the city manager come here to basically tell you what our thoughts are, to answer questions about what the enabling resolution allows you to do and what it doesn't allow you to do. And we've been trying to schedule this for a couple of months, but this is the first night that I was available. So I apologize, didn't get to you sooner. We were talking about it in September of last year. So it's just a matter of when your meetings hit. I have other city meetings, and so I haven't been able to do it. So that's why it's been a couple of months, but while we were trying to get it scheduled. One of the things that I also noticed in watching the videos are you as members of the board are providing direction to city staff relative to park repairs and park maintenance. This, picnic table is broken, this ride or playground equipment needs to be painted, or whatever the direction is. That's not the purpose of this board. The city staff does not need direction as to how to handle the Parks Department and recreation and so forth. And so you guys shouldn't be doing that. You need to focus on what those 4 things are that the enabling resolution provides you to have, or provide you to do. The other thing is that I've noticed in the videos is that there seems to be like the micromanaging of projects and events that the city is putting on. That is not appropriate either. Again, they're here to tell you what the city is doing, but it's not to get input from you on how they do certain things. It's just for the purposes of providing you input as to what is happening. Lastly, I've noticed in watching the videos is that there have been some board members that have been talking about their own personal projects or projects that they're working on for the city and other ways. That's not appropriate to talk about here. You should be focusing on what the enabling resolution tells you can focus on. So I would hesitate if you were considering about talking about a project that is very, very important to you that you're working on that this board doesn't know anything about. It's probably not relevant, and you probably shouldn't spend too much time on that. So I would tell you to take this resolution home tonight that's been passed out and specifically read that paragraph, section 6 of the 4 things that I mentioned to you. And then when you have your meetings in the future, maybe focus on that and what your role here is on an advisory board. Now, I know this came across as being pointed, and to the point about some of the things that I've seen that I don't think are appropriate for what this board has done in the past. And I'm not saying any of you have been involved in any of it, but I'm just saying that we need to get you back in your lane as to what your role is here at the city. And I just didn't want to beat around the bush, send you guys an email and say, this isn't right, this isn't what you shouldn't be doing. I thought maybe we just have this conversation today. So I hope you understand, it kind of pointed and get right to it, tell you what my thoughts are on it, and hopefully answer any questions that you have. So,
Can we ask questions now? Or-
yeah.
Okay. Kind of like what you're saying, we do have some board members are involved, like Steve is involved in Rotary Club, Dave is involved in Little League, Suda is involved in all her stuff. So if they're not allowed to talk about it, are we allowed to say something if we're not involved in it? Like if it's in the magazine, if we have a question?
So I don't want you to say you shouldn't talk about that. You shouldn't focus on it like it is some big direction that you need to give city staff or you need to give the other board members what you're doing. This isn't the time I'm in the Rotary Club. It's not my time to tell you all about the Rotary Club either, even though the Rotary Club puts on, great projects and so forth, but that's not what this board is for. So I would just limit your discussion about that and try to move on. We all are very interested in what's going on in the city, and so, a brief comment, fine. But let's not get focused on it and derailed. And one of the big examples is your August meeting.
Right.
There was a discussion at the August meeting about the theater property. And I watched for, I think it was 45 minutes. I mean, it would just seem like it just, I know I'm exaggerating, it wasn't 45 minutes. But
It felt like it.
About the what project? I'm sorry, the theater.
the theater project.
Missed the
that was
second
rough.
one.
Yeah, it was, the way that was handled, it was not appropriate. That project that the city has is obviously very, very important to not only you and a lot of the people in the city, but it's also very important to us. I've been working on that thing since 1996, I think. And so it's really important to me too, but given direction to city staff as to, what they're doing and what they're not doing, and then making comments about, city council changing its position on what they're going to do with the property and how money was going to be spent and received, That's not one of the 4 things that are listed in your enabling resolution. So that just went way off the rails that night. So we shouldn't be doing that. So I know I beat around the bush on your question, but
Okay, so it is, we can, but,
you can.
Don't.
I would just try to get focused on
Okay.
what the resolution provides you can do.
okay. And then I was also wondering if you can kind of go over what new business and board comments is, because I feel like that kind of gets merged at the end as the same thing, or like what the big difference is between the two.
Well, if it's
From
an
your
action
perspective?
item, either under old business is something that you've discussed at one point, and something has been accomplished in it, or maybe it hasn't, it's ongoing, and it's coming back to you again for your consideration or input. That's an action item. New business, it's an action item. That's where, again, something new is coming to you, and you're asked for your thoughts and ideas on that new agenda item. Comments are for at the end of the meeting, and it's usually not about anything that you've done. It's kind of like, hey, I went to the Armadillo Run, it was fun,
Okay.
you know, and maybe we can get, maybe something that I saw at the Armadillo Run is helpful to us and what, you know, we give direction to on, you know, maybe we should be doing a 5K, maybe the city should be sponsoring, maybe not the Rotary Club, kind of thing. But the comment should have nothing to do with an action item. It's just kind of a thought that you have, or thoughts that you have.
So it's kind of like our personal experience tied to something city-related?
Yeah,
Or board
yeah. So when you look at the city council meetings, when they have comments at the very end of the meeting,
Right,
theirs is a little bit different because they have all these other jobs that they're doing, like, you know, a representative of PSTA or Ford, Pinellas, or whatever other group that, you know, thing that they're doing, committee, board. That's really, you know, they're kind of updating council as to what they've been doing on these other little boards. So I don't mean it's little boards, but you understand.
Right.
Other boards, yeah.
well, I'm on the art task force, so would that be a good time to talk about then what we're doing?
Briefly,
Okay,
yeah.
anybody else have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
You mentioned bringing up like repairs or anything like that, like that's not appropriate. Repairs or like
Yeah.
stuff like that to staff, and I understand that. But when it comes to, it says needs and desires for leisure programs, parks, recreation, and facilities. What, never mind repairs, but if there's something that's like, I heard that some people at a park said they might want X and X, would that be appropriate to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of, hey, we got a swing at RE Olds Park, but maybe it'd be great to have a merry-go-round there.
Okay.
You know, that's the type of thing it is, the type of facility, and in that particular instance, it's equipment, but it's 30,000 feet stuff. It's not, hey, the swing is missing a seat in it right now,
Okay,
kind of thing.
gotcha.
Okay?
Anybody else?
So we shouldn't promote things?
You should not be promoting things, okay? Please don't promote things.
But we can ask you a question, it sounds like.
You guys get the idea. It's,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
we're all people, and we all, you know, love this city, and so we're gonna go off target just a little bit. Just rein it back in and try to focus on those 4 things that the board has the ability to do.
I think we're all pretty much aware why we're having this conversation with you,
Okay,
and hopefully that won't be an issue going forward.
okay.
Yeah, like she said, you know, I'm part of Little League. I try not to talk about Little League because it's not appropriate. It's, you know, if there's a question that's directed towards it, then obviously, yes, I'm gonna answer the question, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, guys, registration's open, don't forget to sign your little kiddos up. I
Exactly.
mean, that's not what we're here for.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so all of you know how to get a hold of me. If there was something that you wanted to ask and you didn't want to ask it in front of everybody else, or you need some more information on what we discussed tonight, give me a call, shoot me an email. We're all, again, here for the same reasons, so let's get it done right. So, I appreciate your time tonight, and again, I hope that you didn't take this as being, you know, daddy telling child not to do something kind of thing. It's, you know, it was really just to get the points across that things need to change, so. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Okay, next item on the agenda, interview applicants for alternate member positions. Oh, sorry, excuse me.
I
Ms.
just
Donnelly.
wanted to add one thing. I'm sure you all are aware, but on your item number 2, on your list in the resolution, what is that, from time to time, the general plan for parks and recreation facilities or something like that? I don't have it in front of me, I'm just going off of what I read. But, you know, in the budget for next year is a master plan for parks and recreation. And so, you know, it was proposed a couple of years ago. We haven't had a master plan since 1997. So it's time to look at the system-wide, right? So there's going to be lots of opportunity as we move through that process. That process, in my experience, will take a couple of years. It's not a one and done, but it really gets to create what the system will look like over the next, you know, 20 years or so. So I just wanted to add that there's going to be a lot of work for this board to do in those 4 things coming up. And thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you, Ms. Donnelly. Okay, so agenda item number 4, interview applicants. So I believe we have one here tonight. Ms. Royer, is that correct? All right.
Thank you.
Come up. Thank you, Mr. Trask.
Thank you.
So, do we just,
We have 2 vacancies
we have 2 vacancies. Only one is available tonight.
and 2 applicants, or 2.
I think the other applicant
Kirby's
is
not
not.
here, I
But,
guess.
Madam Chair, 2 applicants planned to be here today, 1 couldn't make it, and we have 3 more that confirmed that they'll be here, if you wish, on May 13th for your next meeting. They're available.
Is this gentleman an applicant? He's not an applicant.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have questions to ask. Does everybody have a question they would like to ask? the applicant?
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Donna
Well, I was gonna
Royer.
get to him,
Donna Royer? Okay.
Yes.
but, yeah, why don't you tell us about yourself first?
Okay, well, my husband and I moved here 25 years ago, and we bought a piece of property and built a home, and we live on Shore Drive, and we love Oldsmar.
That's great. So do I. Does everyone just want to ask one question at a time? We can start down here, Ms. Pam.
Do we have the sample questions, or now we're not to?
There was some, I don't know if they were printed.
I think
It was in the email,
Came in the email.
and I have a question. but-
What are you doing presently?
I'm retired, finally.
What kind of work did you do? or-
My husband and I had a small business.
Okay, all right. Was it here in Oldsmar, or?
It was in Clearwater, and we were the Steinway Boston piano dealers.
Okay.
Would you like to go talk to him?
Yeah, what interests you in being part of the board?
Well, I care about the city, the health of the city. We're outdoors a lot. We ride our bikes, we walk, and I'm observant, I guess, maybe too much. And so I just think it's great to be involved in the community and have a part in it, and really just encourage our neighbors and really the whole city in general, just to really love where we live. Love it, take care of it, be good stewards.
Okay, go ahead, Pam.
What talents do you think you could bring to the board that would be beneficial to this board? We heard you talk about piano, or music. Were you musically inclined?
Yes, but I'm not sure if that would help, but I think I would probably be able to have some ideas about, depending upon what it is, whether, but I know we have to be reeled in a little bit here, and so you'll hopefully keep me reeled in. And, I don't know, I mean, sometimes my husband just says, Google's tired of listening, I'm always asking questions and thinking about stuff. Whether it's roads, sidewalks, landscape, parks, it seems like I see everything, and I just want the best for Oldsmar. I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience.
Thank you.
Have
Go ahead,
you
Dave.
served on any other boards?
Not in a city placement, no.
Any type of board? I mean,
I was on a church board once. Yes.
Steve, do you have a question again?
No,
Nope,
no,
Joe?
no, I've already asked your questions.
So what's your favorite part of Oldsmar?
We live on the water. We really enjoy the water. It's just so nice. And I like it because we are not, it just has a little different feel than Clearwater or Palm Harbor does.
It doesn't feel as congested, does it?
No, it doesn't. And, we were in a city just the other day. We drove through and went all the way up the beaches, by the way, Reddington, Indian Rocks, all of that. And I was just thinking about, we were both saying how much we love being here and that we're not over there anymore. Not that it's not a wonderful place to live, but it's not quite the hubbub.
A lot prettier around here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, have you participated in any Parks and Recs programs here?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which ones would you like to, once you're able to?
I don't have kids that, I take to the park. My husband's as far as we go is with that. But I'm open and willing to do anything to work as a great team member.
Okay. All right, at this time, is there any other questions for our applicants? Nope, okay. So I guess someone would like to make a motion, or we're gonna do a ballot?
I have a
Oh,
question.
go ahead, Pam.
Do we vote tonight? You said there's other people coming at another time. Would we put this vote on hold, or do we go ahead with the vote now?
I
You
think
can
that's up
go
to
ahead
us.
and vote today, and then for the next meeting, if you wish to have more interviews for the second alternate member position, then
Okay.
So,
What did she say?
She was asking if we were going to vote today, or since we have two other applicants for our next meeting, if we were gonna postpone, but we're gonna vote today.
Right.
Yeah, and then we'll have the
it's
interviews.
ultimately up to you.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
okay. So are we still doing a ballot vote, or just making a
I
motion?
was gonna say, since it's only her, you don't have to do the
Yeah,
ballot vote?
you want a motion?
So I would need to someone needs to make a
I
motion.
make a motion that we vote for.
Okay,
Second.
second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda, number 5, park user survey update.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
First, I want to thank all of you for your participation in the survey process and actually getting out and about and getting feedback. We did receive 274 completed surveys, which is a really good number. I really do appreciate the effort you guys put into that. I did provide you with the feedback, some of the survey information, the numbers there, and I just made some bullet points here to highlight for you guys, so you don't have to dive deep into it right now. So, looking at the questions, when was the last time you visited in Oldsmar Park during the past year? 88% who answered have visited a park within the past month, and 70% have visited within the past week. Question number 2 was, how do you usually travel to Oldsmar Parks? Most people drive to their park of choice. That came out at 48%, 30% walk, and 11% bike. So like that 30% number was probably, people who live near a park, and that's great to see that people value the park and that they're going to travel there by foot. Number 3, how much time do you typically spend in an Oldsmar park during your visit? Most people spend 1 to 2 hours at the park when they visit, so they're there for a good amount of time. They're in, they're out, a lot of turnover there. Let's see. The next question we had was, what is the main reason you visit in Oldsmar Park? 38% of the people visit the park to spend time with family or friends, 27% for physical activity, and 17% to experience nature. Which of the following activities do you enjoy the most? Playground, dog park, open space was 45%. Running, jogging, biking, walking, typically they're exercising on the trail was 27%. When asked what factors prevent them from enjoying our parks or facilities more, most people cited the lack of time as to why they don't visit our parks more often. There was some other answers in there about having quality facilities near their house, and some people were unaware of locations and offerings, which, that's good information for us to have. We do a lot of promotion through social media, Top of the Bay magazine. So, we just got to continue to get the word out of where our parks are and what we have to offer. How safe do you feel when walking to an Oldsmar park? 97% of the people answered that they felt very safe or somewhat safe when walking to our parks. And we also did receive some good feedback that we can use regarding safety in the parks. It says an attachment here that you have behind your survey there. It asked if you answered not safe to walking to an Oldsmar park, please provide the reason. There's a list of bullet points on there. Some of them focus on that topic, some go off a little bit, but it's all good information that we're going to take back and utilize. So again, I think it provides a relatively good snapshot of who our park users are, and again, some issues that that we need to address. So again, thank you for your participation and getting out there into the community and helping to get this feedback for us. So that's all I have on the user update. Yes, sir.
Just wanted to let you know, my son grew up here in Oldsmar, and he's played at every park around here, and he's living in Palm Harbor. He's not been living here for 20 years, but he's in the area. He came over to the park with his granddaughter the other day, and I went over there with them so she can play basketball. And when we got back home, he commented to me, he said, "That's a really nice park, Dad." And I did a double take. Like I said, my son's 41. He never really says anything, "Oh, I really enjoyed that." He's not that emotional, but he expressed to me that the park was really nice. He was quite surprised.
Which park did he visit?
Sheffield.
Sheffield, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's a good thing.
Good.
And then most were in their 30s and 40s that answered.
Yes, yes. So, and household size, there were a number with 4 and 5 people, so that tells you that there's families that are visiting our parks as well. And then you have 64 respondents were just 2 people in the household.
Okay. And most were residents, looks like.
Yes, yes.
People are so excited to do surveys.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
I got a QR code. Yeah.
And keeping them short so that it doesn't take
Yeah.
a lot of time. But and Joe, I appreciate. Thank you for when we met to put the
Yeah.
survey
Yeah,
together.
thank
Based
you.
off of NRPA's surveys that they have done. So thank you.
Works out well.
That's all I have, Amber.
Okay. All right, moving on to agenda item 6, board name change to Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
So this is on the agenda, the council agenda for tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tom kind of briefly mentioned it today, but since the name change from Leisure Services back to Parks and Recreation, it makes sense to keep things consistent. So that's all I really have on that one, but it will go to the city council
Okay.
tomorrow night.
So we don't need a vote or anything on that?
No,
or-
there's no vote on that. no.
Okay. Okay, moving on to new business. Anybody have any news business? Pam? Nope. Dave?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Tatiana?
No, ma'am.
Steve?
Nope.
Joe?
Wish they were. Again,
Well, I did put some agenda items already for May. Jenny knows about that. Do I talk about that now, or what those agenda items are, or just wait?
You can probably mention it because it will be new business coming forward. You won't do any action on it. You can just mention.
Okay. So we got our bylaws and resolutions, and I think we need to take some time and clean up some of the language and define some of the things better. Like, since we're going to be Parks and Rec, we do need to make sure that it's consistent language in here. So that was like one big thing I saw, but there's a couple other things. So at our next meeting, I thought we could dissect that. And so take your time to look through it and come back with feedback, and we can talk about it. And then the other thing was, has anyone gone to Honeymoon Island State Park, the beach over there? No. Okay, there's this like play box where kids can put their toys, and then you can borrow it and put it back. So I had an idea that we could do that at our beach here in Oldsmar.
that'd be kind of cool.
So,
So the children leave the toys when they
right.
come to go, okay.
The parents can check them in. Be like, I don't want this
Like
anymore.
the little
Kinda like me.
libraries, but
Yeah, like the
toys.
library.
Yeah,
Right.
that's cool. I didn't even know if those existed. I haven't seen.
I didn't see it, I didn't even know.
So I did send an attachment to Miss Jenny, so maybe you can even have that out so that they can see what that looks like.
Can do that.
Since I have.
Amber, can I go back to the, your review of the bylaws? Just
Of
one
course.
thing, just one thing in here under Article 2 for the purpose. The last sentence in there, and Tom kind of made a little reference, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. It says, "The board shall report observed concerns to the Director of Leisure Services, Parks and Recreation, rather than wait for board meetings." So basically, what's that saying? If you do see a swing that has a broken seat, or you do realize that there's a hole or an obstacle or a danger, don't wait till the meeting and write your list. You can go ahead and contact us at that time so that we can make sure that we take care of it. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page there.
And that was something else I was going to bring up, just to define what concerns are as well, so you can
Right.
give feedback on that.
I've done that. I
Probably
reached out to you
safety,
about like a year or two ago, something like that, about the board, and the boardwalk had a hole in it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you-
absolutely.
She got back to me, and next time I went down that, it was fixed and repaired.
Yep.
and-
I do it every 3 weeks. You say I can't do it every day.
Yes, 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 yes. That's all I had on that, Amber, so.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to number 8, board comments. We'll start with Ms. Pam.
No comment.
Comments? All right, Mr. Dave.
With the park user survey, I would like to see in the future one that we do, maybe ask a question that asks about amenities they'd like to see that we don't have. Because this is talking about a lot of, people spending time in the park and, which park, whatever. But it doesn't say anything about amenities that they would like to see that we don't currently have.
Yes.
So I think that would be a good question to have on that survey.
So we did a survey, Joe and I, there were 2 surveys that were done, and I'd like to probably cycle that one back again,
Yeah.
because it's been 2 years, is to cycle back that needs and desires survey.
we
So
did
we did
discuss
one
that,
on
yeah.
needs and desires, and this was more of a park user, who's visiting, where you're visiting, how long you stay, that kind of thing, but absolutely. So if you and whoever, when we get together,
Yeah,
whoever's
we
going
get
to
together
represent
and-
that next time, we can develop that survey to have those questions, for sure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Ms. Tatiana?
I don't have any comments
All right, thank you.
tonight.
Mr. Steve?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to Chip, that from the survey that I was doing out there and the several different parks, I basically heard good comments about everything. I don't think there was a bad comment I had from anybody. I just want to thank you and the department that takes care of these parks, that you are doing a great job.
Thank you for recognizing.
I've got a few
Go ahead.
comments. Amber, congratulations,
Thank you.
new chair. That's exciting, and you did a phenomenal job on your speech at City
thank
Council.
you.
That was really, really good, and you made it around too, and I think we're all proud of you for doing that. That was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Appreciate it.
And yeah, the parks are great, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Everybody's loved them. That's what I got.
All right. All right, I have a couple things. Congratulations to Dave on his full appointment to the board. Came to
Yay.
cheer and support you on. He didn't even recognize me. And as well as to Tatiana and Pam and Suda for their reappointments to the board. And our new appointee, I guess she already left. And I also want to thank Dave, Joe, and Pam for coming to the Sunshine Law training. If you have not had time to look at it, I would definitely recommend that. It was very informative. That was from Randy Moore, I think one of Mr. Trask's associates. Sounds like you know him too. He did a really thorough job, so take a look at those PowerPoints, look at the recording, and if you really want a thorough one, look at the 4-hour training. I did that one for Florida Leagues of Cities, if you feel extra motivated. But one thing that was in there that I thought was good, and I think it's relevant to this board, like, for example, if I write a note to Joe, we're not supposed to do that. That's a side conversation, sidebar, so we're not supposed to do that. So make sure you don't do that, because it would become public record at that time.
Stop sending me notes.
Yeah.
He really did a great job
Yeah.
captivating the room.
Yeah,
Very good presentation.
I recognize some of the things he was saying, you know, when I've been sitting here, I've recognized some of the things he was saying, you know, some of the things we were doing was exactly what he was saying. You know, when I think back on it now, you know, so we understand where he's coming from.
And I have a new nephew. His name is Lewis. He was born December 23rd. I have not met him yet because my sister's more paranoid than I ever was, probably because she's older. But hopefully by next meeting, I have met him.
Congratulations.
That's all. So at this time, meeting adjourned.